Happy Saturday. We're expecting another snowstorm here in Connecticut. It's supposed to be a rather big one, so everybody's out and about getting bread, milk, gas, and whatever else one would need. I made my rounds early this morning. It was actually in the 40s. It was kind of warmish, but it is getting colder. They expect the snow to hit around 6 o'clock tonight. Snow overnight, and then we'll see. Anyway, so I have in front of me just a couple of small servers. I thought I'd just go through a couple of these and show you what was inside. This is a Hewitt Packard 262048 switch. So this is a switch. Probably 24 ports. These are usually full of gold pins, and sometimes you can get away with high-grade Telecom on those. This one, it's a pretty good board, a lot of chips. The problem is going to be this. I can try and get them off. I never force these because if I take the chip that's under it, they are going to devalue the board and it won't matter. You can try getting a heat gun and loosening these and see if you're able to get them off. That way, I've already made the decision I'm going to leave them on there and put this in as a low-grade Telecom. Probably could get high-grade if I could get these off. Like I said, I know if I try and take them off, I'm going to take the chip along with it, and then it won't matter. They're going to downgrade the board. So, unless I feel like it later, which I probably won't, you should see the mountain of scrap outside. If you do these, use kind of a rocking motion, sometimes you can get them off. But again, I don't want to fight with it because I don't want to pull the chip off. I might throw this in high Telecom high anyway. It really is a very good board. I haven't seen the back yet. We'll look at that together. Scrapping like a mad woman. There's just so much stuff here to process. I do know if the weather and the road conditions permit, I definitely will be making a ride up to Cable Management in Meriden, Connecticut on Monday. I have a lot of power supplies to sell. I have a pretty good bunch of wire to sell. They will buy low and mid-grade boards, and it's in my best interest to sell them there. The board sort pays 40 to 50 cents for low and mid-grade boards. Now, the problem is it's going to cost me $1 to ship them, $1 a pound to ship it, so it's just not cost effective. And I would like to clear up some of the clutter and get a few bucks in my pocket. So that's Monday's plan, weather permitted. I did go to the scrapyard this morning and dumped the light iron. 158 pounds got me $6. Ridiculous, but it had to go. I had to get rid of it. I went yesterday and got rid of quite a bit of wire and quite a bit of aluminum. The scrapyard in Derby paid 40 cents a pound on aluminum. Actually, I think they actually gave me 45 cents a pound for clean aluminum. That wasn't too bad. So we did okay there. They did short me on my cat wire. Probably not on purpose, but my suggestion is when you go to the yard, is to just bring one kind of something so they don't mix it up. I had it separated, but the guys took everything and threw it into one bin, and then just paid me for computer wire, which I think is 37% recovery. So, you know, just be careful with that. They don't really do it on purpose, you know. They're in a hurry and they just want to get it all done with, and that's how they do it. So, my recommendation is don't bring both kinds of wire at the same time. Just bring one kind. You know, cat wire pays $1.50 and spaghetti wire pays 35 cents. You know. But that's okay. So I've only got a few screws to get out of here. These are fairly easy to take apart, and usually a candidate for a Telecom grade board with this. I am going to put this in with my high grade Telecom. They probably will devalue it, but there's not a lot of rubbish on here, and I just can't get those off, and I'm not going to kill myself trying, unless I do it off camera. I might take the board down to the basement later and see if I can heat it up and get it off there. I just don't want to, like I said, I don't want to pull the chips off, because then I'll have no choice about it. It's a nice board. There's gold-edged BGA. Very well-populated board. Lots of chips, lots of flat packs. There's not a lot of yellow tantalum capacitors unless there's some on the back. I'll flip it over and take a look in a second. Right. That should just come right out, actually. I've lost count of how many things that I've processed over the past 2 days. So I hope everybody's got all their goodies ready for the Super Bowl game. I don't really care who wins. It's a good excuse to drink beer and eat junk food. My family, everybody's a diehard New England Patriots fan. I am too, but this just was not their year. Come on, everybody knows we watch the game for the commercials. I actually think football is an awfully dangerous sport. I can't think that it would be very good for one to get their noggin knocked around like that, and on a regular basis. I think it's a very rough game. I just cringe every time I watch one of those guys hit their head on that hard AstroTurf. Yeah, these are nice boards to scrap. As I said, I'll give this a whirl later to see if I can get them off. I just don't want to take the chip. Pretty good gold on the back, not a lot in the way of chips. Now, if I go to the Board Sort website and I look at the examples of high-grade Telecom, they will take this because this is rich in gold. There are a lot of gold pins in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in with my high-grade Telecoms. I have a feeling they'll devalue it, but I'm not sure. It's not like it's covered in them. The yard that I'm working with does buy these power supplies, which is nice. I've got a pretty good sized tub of those going. And I'm just sorting everything as I go through the pile. Whatever's in the truck ready to go Monday, that's what goes. My game plan is to get enough processed that I can get out of my storage locker. It's expensive, and I'm just purchasing this house that I'm living in. I don't want to invest in more. I don't want more expenses. Just your basic power board. If you want to nip off the aluminum and nip off the copper, you certainly can do so. I don't think these are worth the time to scrap out and micro scrap completely. Scrap It All did a nice video this morning on power boards. I'll probably throw these just in with dirty aluminum. And that'll be it. Okay. Put that aside to deal with later. I'm just going to pause the video for a moment while I clear off my workspace, and then I'll show you the next one. Be back in a sec. This is a brand I'm not familiar with. I don't see any type of a known brand on it. ADVA, ADVA. I don't know what it is. This is probably... It's networking equipment. Feels like it may be pretty old. That's interesting. This one actually has a heat sink in it. It's a pretty good board again. Gold cornered VGA. That's a Torx screw. I'll take the heat sink off. I'll try and get this off, but they use this paste, so when you go and pull the aluminum off, it's going to take the chip off with it, and your buyer won't be liking that a bit. Okay, so very nice copper aluminum heatsink there. And the board itself looks pretty good. There's only a couple of screws on here. I'll go ahead and take this off. These are pretty easy to work with. They're not as fiddly as some of the others that we were working with the other day. Vertex. I certainly don't recognize any of the names of any of the thingies that are in here. This is a power supply. I'll just throw that in with the tub that's gonna get sold on Monday. Optical networking card. Almost. Like I said, the more I can get scrapped out, the happier I'm going to be. I've still got probably 3 or 4 more trips to empty that it's a shipping container. I went out this morning. The gentleman did give me permission and give me the keys. And I went out to try to get a load out of it today. Forget it. I couldn't get the damn thing open. Too heavy, too hard. And I just couldn't do it. I just hope I have enough material to work on over the snowstorm. Okay, power supply. I'm going to sell that just like that as a power supply with no wires. Just going to put it right in with its friends. And this is just going to go into low-grade boards. So, power supply, no wires, low-grade board. As I said, I've got a couple of tubs of everything, and they're sitting in the driveway ready to be put in the car. And First thing I'm going to have to do is go empty the car of all the scrap metal that's in it once again, and just, you know, you got to keep ahead of it. These are some gold pins. This, it's not a gold finger card because it doesn't have gold fingers. It's a networking card. I think I would put that in with peripheral mid-grade boards. There's nothing really on the back. We'll put that in with mid-grade boards. Those also make no sense for me to ship to board sort. Peripherals, low and high, it's not that they don't pay enough, it's there's not enough of a profit margin for me to ship those. Really, the only thing I ship now are computer motherboards, RAM, CD-ROM boards, and hard drive boards. Just the rest of it is just not cost effective. I wouldn't be surprised if over the next few years more places spring up. E-waste recycling seems to be catching on because of the amount of precious metals that are in these things. More and more yards are starting to get into it, including the yard that I trained that kicked me out. Someday I'll get over that. Today's not that day, I guess. Really a rotten thing to do. I still can't believe they did that to me. Anyway, that's okay. You know what? I wouldn't have had time to do my YouTube. Alright, so that's the board that came out of this. You've got ICs. I think BoardSort's paying like $9 a pound for these. They do pay pretty well, but again, if you take things off the board, they're going to downgrade it, so why would you do that? Very nice board. Telecom high. Plenty of gold pins there. No worries on that one. This one, I'm really on the fence about this one. I may take a picture of it and send it to them and see where they tell me to put it. I'm more comfortable saying that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to send him a picture and tell him I can't get these off and see where he says to put it. It takes 2 minutes, and you know, I'm good, but I'm not always right. All right, that's that one. This is called Pro Curve. This is from HP Innovations. Pro Curve Networking, HP Innovation. Oh, wow. What a waste of space, eh? Still, a nice board. This one will go Telecom high all day, every day, no problem there. They paid me pretty good for the wire this morning. It wasn't as much as cable management paid, but it got a few bucks in my pocket, so I won't really complain. It's like comparison shopping. You just have to go, which card's going to pay me the best? I'll take this out after. So this is just going to go in as a low grade board. It's a power supply, but it's not in that case. So these go as low grade boards. Couple of screws, and this one will be done. They say we're in for a week of really poor weather, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I actually don't mind the snow. I remember as kids we My mother was that mom in the neighborhood who piled all the kids in the station wagon. We had a wood-paneled station wagon, and boy, oh boy, off we'd go. She took us everywhere. She took us to the beach. She took us sled riding. She didn't mind this. Matter of fact, we had her old sled from when she was a kid. Fastest damn sled on the hill, let me tell you. But one day, my brother and I walked in with a toboggan. Oh my gosh, she nearly flipped. I had no way to know that she had broken her knee and been very badly injured in the toboggan accident, and her friends left her there. So there she is. She had run into it. I guess she caught her leg on a tree or some such thing. Poor thing always had trouble with her knee, you know. And they left her there. They thought she was faking. Somebody finally went back and got her. But I never knew that. I never knew. I knew she had a bad knee, but I never knew how she got it. So she was flaming and flipping about that toboggan. Needless to say, out of respect for my mother, we got rid of the toboggan. But boy, she was a trooper. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can remember in the summertime going to Nantucket Island, and there was a storm coming. Boy, you want to talk about waves. And we grew up. We grew up on the Rhode Island beaches. In the summer, we were always there, so we knew how to swim in the surf. We weren't afraid of it. And boy, I look back at the pictures of my mother and I and my brother, who was probably 7 or 8 years old at the time. And I would look at myself and I'm like, wow, did I really do that? Now, the thought would terrify me, I think. She was a lot of fun. It's like that as a grandmother too, just like her mother. So we had a lot of fun. We were always, you know, growing up as kids, we all had the neighborhood gang and off we'd all be. Nobody ever knew where we were. You know, you didn't have to worry. Because all the neighbors looked out for everybody else's kids. Not like today, boy, I'll tell you. Alright. That should come out unless I've missed something. I don't know if I took this one out. This looks like an older board. It's got a kind of yellowish hue to it. Very good example of a Telecom board. I will take this off just to clean the board a little bit. Takes me 2 seconds and it's just nice to do. But yeah, there's lots of gold band, gold cornered VGA chips, lots of IC chips, flat packs. That might be a gold band crystal oscillator. I'm not sure. It could be an older version of it. Can't quite see what it is. And the back has plenty of things for gold recovery. Some nice gold here. Very nice board. So those are 3 quick examples of networking equipment, switches, and high-grade Telecom boards. Again, I really recommend if you're trying to learn about boards. I'm good, but I'm not an expert. And I'll say that from the day one. I mean, I have no problem with picking up the camera and sending a picture. Board Sort has excellent videos up. You know, if you sell it to a local person, well, then you don't have a problem because you just ask them, what are you going to buy this as? Like a lot of boards I have put aside that don't seem to fit into anything they have posted. And that's exactly what I'll do. Hi, here's a picture. What would you like me to send these to you as? And they'll send you an answer. So, that will probably be it for now. I don't know about the rest of this weekend. Just depends how much snow we get, I guess. I'll take this off. I'll throw it in with low-grade boards. Button this up. And that'll be a wrap. Alright everybody, I wish you all well. Thank you for taking the time to visit my channel. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I do want to get some better video equipment. I think one of the things I'm going to do this weekend is set up the recording room upstairs. It's a good sized house. We have plenty of rooms. So instead of doing this at my kitchen table, I think I'll be moving the workshop upstairs to one of the empty bedrooms. Alright, take care. God bless you all. Thanks for stopping by and visiting my kitchen table. Stay wonderful. God bless.